So maybe if we can take hypothetically a scenario which is in the sports world
Mhm.
and take us through, right? Like what's today and what's possible.
Yeah. So this is not hypothetical. This is actually one of our biggest focus areas is sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
And why? Because look, the Olympics are coming to the US in a couple of years, and we're hosting the FIFA World Cup next year. So there's just a lot of activity that's going on in this space. And and if you think about any sport, right, it is a big coming together of today it's a big coming together of not just the physical element of the sport where the venue is involved and you have 60, 70,000 people gather to watch it together, but also there's the digital element because, well, how are you targeting who are the right people who will be buying your tickets? So just to start, right?
Hmm.
That's a simple problem.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a perfect coming together of physical and digital experiences, right?
Yeah.
So now when you look at it from that lens, now you very quickly you start to see that to make it all possible, where is your data? You know, the venue has some data. We are all local here in the Bay Area, so let's pick up Levi Stadium as an example. Well, they have some data. And then the Levi Stadium is working with Ticketmaster, and
Yeah.
Ticketmaster is selling the tickets to the event, so they have some data. Now the stadium in itself has concessions and merchandise. So the concession guys have some data, the merchandise guys have some data. The folks who are processing these payments, they have some other data, right? And then there are sponsors ultimately who are on those jumbotrons. They are always showing you different ads, right? From a
Right.
branding perspective, it's fantastic, but what's the ROI on that, right? Nobody knows, but it's comes out of the branding budget. So as long as it's there, it's gonna be there, right? Now, very quickly, you see that from all of these different people, they're all targeting the 60,000 people inside the stadium, right? Now, and everybody is going by the exact same playbook. Let me get their email. Let me segment them into some demographics. Let me put together, a creative campaign on how to reach out to them. And all of these different players, they are playing by exactly the same playbook. There's no difference. And yet they expect different results. They're like, oh, I'm only getting open rates of less than 1%. Well, there is no differentiation.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do right? So, so from that perspective, now you start to say, okay, let's look at it from a different perspective and bring in the data to say, well, we're going to be identifying who those fans are directly.
Hmm.
And because you're all together in this ecosystem, let's start to share data, not the raw data, because nobody is going to share their raw data with each other. That's such a big no-no, right? But a company like ours can now come in and say, okay, we'll look at your data and share specific insights about the fans who you are targeting with you as a brand. Now, if you're a sponsor like a Nike, wouldn't it be fantastic to know that there's 1,000 people in that 60,000 crowd who would spend $1,000 on a sneaker,
Hmm.
right? Now, those are the right people to go out and target. So now you can infer behavior from a lot of different fragmented pieces of data, put it all together, and make it a better experience for not just the brands and the venues, but also for the fans. Because now I'm not fatigued opening up the same old emails. I'm not fatigued looking at the same tired playbooks and saying, hey, these brands are giving me offers, but none of those work for me.
I mean, this is absolutely right. Like, this is the scenario that we want to get to, right? Which is stitch together that entire ecosystem of data that's surrounding, right? Like, that's doing a surround sound, really, right? Like, as the fans are walking into the stadium, and then how do you actually, leverage intelligence, right? Like,
Yeah,
from that surround sound and hone in into the identity of that person anonymously still, right? Like keeping privacy intact and render for them the offer or the message that'll actually resonate, right? So that's the vision.